I have challenged myself to cook a dish from every single country in the world in alphabetical order, and today we're cooking food from Australia. Just between you and I'm an avid watcher of Masterchef Australia. I watch it all the time. It's the best of all those Master Chefs, however many there are. This one's the best. What I'm making today, I actually first learned about on that show. So I'm always learning stuff on this show. So I learned about the Lamington. It's an Australian dessert. It's like a yellow sponge cake shaped like a square, covered in chocolate and desiccated coconut. I want to make an authentic Australian Lamington, so I reached out to a friend of the show who's from Australia, and she sent along this recipe, so thank you, Amy. There are some discrepancies about the origin of this dessert. Some say it's from Australia or New Zealand. I don't want to get into the middle of all that. We could argue all day, but instead we could just make it and enjoy it and worry about that later. So let's get to work. Okay, first things first, I need to preheat the oven 325 degrees Fahrenheit. In a very rustic looking baking dish, you gotta take some butter, get right in there, grease this up. Parchment paper. Okay, I'm gonna be using a stand mixer today. This is just a loaner. Woo! It's like 110 grams of sugar, 90 grams of softened butter. The paddle attachment on, and we mix. Cream the butter and the sugar together. 1 egg, give that a mix. Another egg. Keep it going, one at a time, one at a time. I want to make sure it's all well combined. Step aside. 150 grams of all-purpose flour, pinch of salt, teaspoon of baking powder, sift it. This is 1.5 tablespoons of milk, and with the flour mix, I'm gonna add them in one at a time until it's all combined. Let's start with the flour. Hello. Okay, batter into the pan. Honestly, I have another cake dish. It's much smaller, and since I'm making this just for me, it's another very rustic looking baking pan. Okay, smooth the surface with whatever kind of kitchen utensil thing that you have. I'm gonna use this thing. That's gonna bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Less than 25 minutes. This is like 23 minutes. I don't have a toothpick to check if this cake is done. I was gonna stick it right in the middle, and if it comes out clean, it's done. I don't have one, so I'm just gonna use a really thin knife. And that's clean. This cake is done. Cake has cooled. Yeah. Firstly, I'm just gonna kind of trim the edges a bit. I'm liking that. Cut this when it's cold into 1¼ inch pieces. So I'm just gonna mark it. I want this to be precise, so with the measuring tape, so Lamingtons are bite-sized? I don't know. I guess so. Need a bowl. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is add some icing sugar, roughly 1.5 cups. And then I need cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is not that way. 1/4 cup, so like 1/8 cup of cocoa powder and 1/4 cup of boiling water. Whisk it together until it's like a syrupy kind of consistency. Okay, I'm happy with that. Here's the desiccated, what is it? Desiccated? Desiccated. So I have my coconut in one bowl, I got the syrup in one bowl, and I have to get it onto this, and then let it hang out on a rack. So it's a bit of a station, goes from here to here to here to here. Couple forks here, couple forks there. What I think needs to happen is that I drop it in the bowl like that by accident, and then move it around with the forks. Get it completely covered. Okay, pick it up and then roll it around in the coconut. That's been mixed with the coconut, and then you get another fork here. And hey, okay, that can go there. Firstly, roll it around in the chocolate with your 2 chocolate forks, and then I lift it up, and then it's Operation Lamington drop into the coconut. And then I take my coconut fork and just cover it with the coconut, and then you put it on the baking rack. Now I gotta do that like 20 more times. What's not to love about that? So I am a big fan of these like bite-sized pieces. I honestly wouldn't go any bigger than this. This is what I'm digging right now. I was reading that you could like split one of these in half and then you put a jam inside or something, but that's not like the true Lamington. The original Lamington doesn't have the jam, apparently. So I just avoided the jam. Plus, you know, it was an easy day in the kitchen and that's kind of nice. Fluffy sponge cake covered in chocolate and coconut. I'm there. Always. But that's it. I'll see you very soon. Bye.